Hey yo everybody, it is Voltage and we are back with some more Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. You might be questioning why I decided to open up this video with an update screen. That's not an error, it's not a mistake, don't click off, man. The reason is because this update carries with it I wouldn't say groundbreaking necessarily, but low-key groundbreaking update for Sparking Zero. And that is the nerfing of a character. This is a balance patch. You saw the video saying this character had to be nerfed. If you've somehow missed it on the first time you're hearing this, that is great. And if you have seen it, you know exactly who I'm talking about. That character is none other than Yajirobe. Yes, Yajirobe has been nerfed in Sparking Zero. Now, unless you've been living under a rock when it comes to this game, maybe you've never picked them up, maybe you don't use social media like that, and somehow you've missed it. That is completely okay, but Yajirobe has been known to be notoriously cracked. Now, I thought about recording a video on him before nerf, but I did not end up going through with that. However, I kind of did. There's a link in the description to a video I recorded with G-Freak over on his channel. There's a match with Yajirobe in there, and I promise you, that's going to show you how cracked he used to be. What we're going to talk about today is what they did to him. So, check that video out, link in the description if you want to see him at his very best, Yajirobe. Let's go ahead and talk about what Yajirobe, what they decided to do to him, right? So, in case you don't know, Yajirobe's nerf, this is what happened. So this might be, this is still fresh, so you might not have seen this. So Yajirobe's Senzu Bean skill has now been reduced, been upped to 6 skill count. I can't even speak, man. The cost is up. It takes 6 rather than 5. Also, he now starts a match with 0 skill count instead of 2. Most of the Earthlings do start with 2. Most of the weaker characters do. His health has also been reduced from 3 bars to 2.5. Most people I've seen in the comments, part of me genuinely thought about making this a reaction video and talking about everybody's reactions in the comments. Shout out to Lotus for posting this info, by the way. But yeah, let's say there's a big divide in the community over how they handled Yajirobe. Some people think it's stupid to have nerfs in a Tenkaichi game because that's never really been a thing. He was just going to be the way he is. Other people think it was fair. Lotus himself agrees it's fair. Other people wanted it. It's a new territory. I know some people are lost in their old ways and don't want nerfs to happen. Like you see, like here, some people upset about that. Other people want other nerfs, The Spark Zero community is a very interesting place. But Yajirobe had some time to shine, and even if this nerf does kill him, I think the fact that he had a few weeks at the top was very good. I didn't personally use him in ranked in a serious nature. I only ever used him when I was doing random battles. But pretty sick. So overall, my thoughts. Let's talk about that, right? Because I'm guessing you clicked this. Now you know who it is. So if you're still here, you probably want to know what my thoughts are on the character and the nerf, personally. I'm not going to hold back on y'all. I think it was a good idea. I do think that having nerfs is good. However, you do need to focus in on the right spots. There are a lot of cracked and stupid things in this game, and seriously broken, busted things in this game. Very recently, if you've seen the character, and I probably will do a video covering them, Android 19 is stupidly cracked. If you don't know why, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, check back, and you'll see a video on me covering them in the future. But he's stupid. Obviously, fusions are cracked, but I think that's to be expected. I'm not hating on fusions being cracked because that's a part of the game. That was already said beforehand, and it's just the way it is. I do think some things like auto sparking meter are a little crazy. You can get around it, but when people are just spamming, it is what it is. Because here's the argument I'm seeing for Yajirobe. Oh, and giant characters. You guys saw the Wheelo video that I posted. Wheelo is very good for that. There are other characters like Fat Janemba is ridiculous. I'd argue he might be even worse than Wheelo, all things considered. Potentially. Wheelo is really good because he still has the auto meter as well, but you get what I'm saying. So what's the argument for nerfs, right? Think about that yourself. What is the argument for a character or anything getting a nerf in a video game? It's fun. That's why I see it's the predominant one. People aren't having fun fighting against this character. There's a big issue in the community. They're complaining. The devs hear that, and they decide to take care of it, right? Decide to nerf it. I think Yajirobe, his biggest thing was that he was pretty much immortal and he would stall out matches the timer. That is definitely boring. I also think though, if we're gonna open the can of worms and we're gonna start nerfing Yajirobe, we need to spread the wealth to other characters who are better than they should be, right? I just think that is the case. Now, I don't want this to turn into that people have found like minor characters with niches to fight the big characters, and then they get nerfed, and it's just the big characters still dominating, because I think that the way that they designed Sparking Zero is very boring in a single battle standard. You find people, and pause on that. Do not take that out of context like I think the game is boring. It's not what I'm saying. I love the game. I play the game every day. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that they made the strongest character the strongest, right? So what do most simple-minded people do? No offense, man, but I get it. A lot of y'all are going to just go in a rank. You immediately pick Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, Blue Gogeta, MUI Goku, right? Whether they're the strongest or not, you're still there. But that's very simplistic. There are not a lot of people like to spice it up. But most Dragon Ball fans, as from like experience with Dokkan and Legends and like, you see the hype character, you click the hype character. It's just that simple. And that, making them the very best, in a roster of 180 plus, makes single battle almost irrelevant unless you're just spamming the strongest characters or you're training yourself to be really good. I like to play less good characters in single. I do random single battles, even in my own free time, and I take on the challenge because I think that I'm probably better than the person who doesn't really practice the really good character and just picks them when I'm using a minor character. You know what I'm saying? Just in that case, this is not a subtle flex or anything like that. It's just that it's doable, but it is a handicap, and I understand that. Team battle, it's a little more interesting, and that's what made Yajirobe so cracked. If you play this game, and actually we can switch back over to the game itself as I make this point. So if you play this game, you probably have seen by now online battle, right? You go to ranked, and you have two choices. Single or DP. Now, from what I understand, this game was built around DP. The reason I say that is because the cost system is a checks and balances. If you're a good enough player, you can win just by having more characters on your team, right? Even if they're weaker characters. Like, the number advantage is not to be underestimated if you're a good player, but it takes practice. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, you can't run two of the strongest. So you have him and a 5 cost. Now, depending on who you pick, it's still ridiculous because he's that good, but it does allow you an attempt at checks and balances. The reason Yajirobe was nerfed was not necessarily because of singles. He was still cracked in singles. But what really nerfed him was DP. Because he's a 2 cost, you have 13 other costs to fill your team with, and you're running them to timer. You're whooping ass, and you're running the clock out, and Yajirobe's staying at full health, and you win the game. People didn't like that. I get not liking that, but like I said, I think we got to spread the wealth. If we're opening up nerfs and buffs, which is what some people are afraid of, I'll have you say, but if we're opening up the door for that, then I think we need to be ready, right? So anyway, I'm currently A5. I'm about to throw my points away because what we're at least gonna do is we're gonna show Yajirobe right now and how cracked he is, right? Or not cracked, how non-cracked he is. He'd be better potentially in DP now, but his whole purpose was stalling. And I think that's just corny. I'm not really gonna show that off. But in singles, he can do a little bit of work. I was doing random battles with my friends yesterday, by the way, hence why Super Vegeta's on my screen. So let's go over to Yajirobe and see if they say it. They don't say it over here. You just see that he has this stuff, right? Unfortunately, Buddy is done for. He does have his own blockable, which I guess is okay, but it's kind of slow. But yeah, let's see the nerfed Yajirobe in action. Hope you guys are ready for that. I was gonna show something in training mode, but it actually just automatically found a match. So let's show off the actual updates. Y'all know this is in-game live right now. So first things first, we're up against a Gogeta Blue. Okay, well, this used to be not as scary. Now it is scary. I wish I had a real character to fight this guy. We both have 420 in our name. That's funny, because that's my old username. I've had this since I was a kid.
Unless you treat me to lunch.
Okay, so first things first. 0 bar. You see that? He's also got less health. And he's got zero whatchamacallit, skill meter. I'm knocking down to those. He's up to 2 already. But we pretty much need to stay on him to give us our best shot. But I cannot, like, combo-wise, we don't have anything going for us. And there he goes. That was a throw into an auto rush. See, that's the kind of thing a Fusion can do that is so stupid, by the way. So as you can see with Yajirobe, I doubt we're going to live long enough to even get it. Here's where the senzu beans would begin. That's not going to happen right now, though, because we don't have enough cost. Now, I'm not exactly sweating right now to, like, get us there, but you get it. I would like 1 senzu bean if we can, but I have my doubts. This is still my warm-up match. Oh, no, we do get one. He perfected. He's going to try and throw. Let's try and eat. No, he key blasted. Okay, but anyway, you get the point, right? Yajirobe, he has to get to 6, and you're fighting people like Gogeta. Now, there is the argument, though, and I still see people talking about this. If you have Yajirobe in the back of your team on the DP, can he stall out? Is there still a chance of doing that? I mean, I'd argue there's a chance of stalling for sure, but, like, again, you need 6, as you just saw. Like, I barely got there, but by the time I did against Gogeta Blue, I was already super low. And you can tell that's also because his health was nerfed. Gogeta Blue doesn't take damage, so it was, like, a not fair matchup. But even though it's a not fair matchup, that's how this game works, right? It was designed for people like that. As you can see, he's an A5. All he plays is Gogeta Blue, you know. I'm not going to do any more hating, but I am going to say that's the reason he's not built for this anymore. But that's also the intention. Yajirobe was not supposed to be built for this. He's just a niche pick. Maybe you can do some funny stuff with him. Funny sensu bean man, right? That's what he's supposed to be. So I think we all have to understand that. But I want to ask y'all, is that a good thing or a bad thing that Yajirobe got nerfed? What are your opinions on his nerf? I think he's just a lot more boring now, so I think that it was better to do a discussion video than like a full gameplay video. I don't want to make a whole video with these fights, and I don't think y'all want to see that. So you tell me in the comments. Leave a like if you enjoyed this one. Subscribe if you want to see more. We're aiming for 300 subscribers, and we are pretty close to that goal, almost to a 10 countdown. So if you want to join the Voltage crew, I would love, love, love to have you there. Thank you so much for watching. Have a rest of your nights, days, evenings, mornings, whatever times you're watching this, and I'll catch y'all next time. Voltage.